What's up, everyone? It's Justin, and I am back with episode 4 of the CHH-ish podcast. And today, we are speaking to the duo of Sis N Lil Bro, brother and sister CHH duo. I've never spoken to them before, so this should be pretty dope. So let's wait for them to get in here. Oh, Titus is already in here. We're ready to go. Let's wait for some people to trickle in. This is episode 4 of the CHH-ish podcast, where we have conversations with people within CHH, not necessarily about CHH. There's lots of artists in the space that are doing really cool things, and we want to cover all of it, and then we'll talk a little bit about the music at the end. All right, so here we go. All right, here's Titus. Nope.
Yep.
Here's
What's good?
here's the sister. Here's the brother. All right, we got both of them here. This is the first time I think I'm going live with 2 people.
Oh, where? What's up? What's up?
Or for this show at least.
There we
But
go.
what's up? Good to meet you both. I've never like spoken to you besides email before, so this is really dope because you guys have a lot of cool stuff going on, and I want to cover all of it. So the CHH-ish podcast, we'll get into it, but we want to talk about a lot of the stuff that's going on outside of the music because people have great stories, and a lot of times a lot of the fans or the people that are following just know you for your music. So I want to give you guys the floor for just a second to introduce yourselves, let the Rapzilla audience know who you are, what you're about, and then we'll take it from there.
What's up, you guys? First of all, this is just an honor to be here. My name is Celena, but I go by Sis. That's my brother Titus. That's Lil Bro. Just shout out to everybody who's been listening to our music, but we love God. We do music together. We're really brother and sister, and we're on a great journey. So I'm excited.
Absolutely. Yeah, she already gave me a little bit of an introduction, but what's up, y'all? My name is Titus, aka Lil Bro, which is half of Sis N Lil Bro. And like Selena said, we do hip hop. We do a lot of other stuff outside of just CHH itself. But real brother and sister, I played basketball in college, just finished playing ball for 5 years. So just a little bit about myself. And I'm 23 years old. And yeah, just loving what we do and blessed to have the opportunity just to speak with you, Justin, as well, just to be on here. So pleasure.
Yeah, likewise. And so you play basketball, you're not really the little bro. Like you're like big bro kind
Yeah,
of,
I'm
but little bro at the same time.
big Lil Bro. Yeah. Yep.
Big little bro. How far apart are you guys?
Year and a half.
Oh man, you just missed out. You just missed out. So let's talk about that family dynamic. Both of you are artists independent of each other. So what made you both come together, and does being together kind of change how you approach your artistry?
Titus, you can go.
All right, for sure. So what made us come together? Well, like you said, we were individual artists for a little bit when we first started. What's crazy is I never even wanted to I never wanted to be an artist. Kind of grew up shy, wanted the behind the scenes role, didn't want to be
Yeah.
front stage center, anything like that. So that was kind of my role. I was engineering when I was young. And then Selena came out of the woodworks and said, "Hey, I want to rap," just like my dad and my older brother, which is KJ, because they were doing Christian hip hop a long while ago. So she wanted to do it, and we went to the same high school, so she started doing it. I saw the impact she had on our peers, and I was like, "Wow, I could probably do that too, considering I know how to write, I know how
Yeah.
to engineer, like I can kind of self-produce." So I got into it as well, and we were kind of doing our own thing. Obviously, same direction, but just Celena Lena, Titus, as 2 different artists,
Yeah.
doing our own thing for about 3 years, and then COVID came around, and obviously, you know, you get more family time just when everything's shutting down, and we had a home studio, so it was like, why don't we make this thing official as far as like an actual duo?
Yeah.
Because we feature on each other's stuff every now and then, and people like that dynamic. And I just learned today that that we were not the first, but one of the first, and as far as the brother sister hip hop duo that we know of, and that dynamic isn't really around right now when it comes to CHH. So it would be something cool to really try out and see how it goes. Because a lot of people, it's like a 3-in-1. They still can get Titus if they want it. They can get Celena Lena, or they can get Sis N Lil Bro. So it still allows us to do our individual thing,
Yeah.
but also gives that third option as well.
Yeah. That's amazing because and I I love how you took advantage of COVID too, because it's like you could just stay at home and just be like, oh man, all my plans are ruined. I wanted to do this and that. And you're like, no, we're stuck together, right? So might as well figure out how to do something creative and
Yep.
productive. What about you, Celena? Anything to add to that?
Um, I did not want to be. I didn't see myself being an artist when I was coming up. The first thing I ever wanted to be was an actress, and I still have that dream today. But y'all, I didn't see it coming when I was younger. The closest thing that I got to music was reciting lyrics from Nicki Minaj when I was like younger. I mean, I guess people would say like, "Oh, you can keep up with her," you know what I'm saying? So like, because obviously she's very articulate and she raps really fast and stuff. So I mean, I had no clue. You know, I had no clue that I could rap. It was just like a random summer where I just, you know, our family was traveling, and then I just had this crazy idea in my head, and it just came from God because like I said, I never had an aspiration of doing it, but randomly I just became like infatuated with becoming a rapper. You know, I was just like, you know, I was like, Dad, I want to do the same thing as you and as you and KJ. Like, I want to rap for God too. And you know, he was like laughing at me because he's just like, what the heck? He was just like, sure, like, okay, yeah, okay, let's see how this goes. So, you know, he just told me, he was like, you just make up a song and perform it in front of the family. And that's what I did. And my brother Titus was the first. He was one of the first people. He was my first audience member along with our other family members. So, you know, even before Titus was a rapper himself, like he was the first person that I performed in front of. So, you know, it was kind of embarrassing at first. Like when I first performed in front of him, it was kind of embarrassing, but you know, fast forward and now we're here today. So
Yeah, maybe that's the desire to be the actress in you is like, hey, I want to try this new role, right? And then you're like, oh,
yeah,
you got so into the role that you became the role. So you're like a method actor.
yeah,
But you know, I'm talking to and dealing with artists all the time, and if somebody came up to me and was like, yeah, you know, I decided I wanted to be a rapper today. Can I do some music for you? And my first instinct is gonna be, oh boy, like what am I about to
Yeah.
hear? But like you actually did it and did it well. So props to you. That's amazing.
yeah.
Um, so one of the things I wanted to ask you is essentially being in a group together and making these moves is kind of like a business, right? So how do you separate the artistry from your actual relationship as a family? Do you have systems in place? What happens when you guys disagree about like a path or a move that you want to take?
Selena, you got this one. Sorry, I guess.
Um, well, you know, our dad from the jump, like it's a benefit having a father as a manager because he teaches us how to be professional. You know, we
Hmm.
you have to first understand like, okay, first of all, you don't sign up to be somebody's daughter, you don't sign up to be somebody's son, and you don't sign up to be brothers and sisters. Like that's just a relationship that, you know, you came into this world with.
Yeah, yeah,
So, he really had to just teach us the professional side of it, which is, you know, at the end of the day, this is business. So whatever y'all got going on personally, if you have disagreements, if you have fights and stuff, don't let it affect the ministry. You know what I'm saying? And we're human, you know what I'm saying? We have disagreements, we have fights, just like any brother or sister does. If anything, siblings fight extremely much. So you know, I think that it's good that we're young adults, we're in our 20s, and we understand that the personal issues cannot affect the ministry. But
Yeah.
also at the same time, like it's important to know that you're always being real and transparent, you know. So it's like a balance between professionalism and being personal.
Right. And I mean, you guys, at least from the onset, you have all your pictures and your photo shoot stuff together, and you actually look like your siblings who like each other and love each other. I know plenty of siblings are like, I'm not trying to get that close to my brother or my sister for a picture. Put us at the ends.
Right.
So, I mean, you guys look like you have a solid relationship, and you could tell. And that's obviously that's going to shine through your music, because if you guys were like this all the time, I don't think the music would work, right?
Absolutely. No, yeah, that's right, and that that's I think she said it when she said the balance, because like she said, I mean, you're gonna have differences as an artist, and it's funny because Celena and I are actually total opposites in a sense when it comes to she's extroverted, I'm introverted.
Yeah.
She's the first to volunteer herself for things, and I'm the first to say I'm like very passive and letting others do it first. So it's kind of that yin and yang, that black and white to it that complements
Yeah.
each other. So that's something we take pride in, but also understanding that and knowing that it could be detrimental in a sense. We have to know how to balance it, and like she said, separate the professional from the personal so that both can flourish. Because obviously, you want the business to flourish, but
Mhm.
you don't want to sacrifice one or the other. You want both to flourish, so you have to nurture them both.
Right. I think that's so important, because a lot of times, artists who are in ministry, they'll sacrifice their family because, oh, I have to do this for the ministry. But then you're taught that, your family, your household is your first
Right.
priority of your ministry, right? So you have, fathers or mothers neglecting the family to push something on or something like that. But you guys kind of have that understanding. So
Yes,
that's
sir.
that's a dope start. And then also having your father who has been there and done that too, and an older brother kind of as guidance. You guys have a good tight knit unit, which is
Yes,
great.
sir.
Um, so let's dive more into some of the other stuff. I saw the video clip, the behind the scenes, and the BET Kingdom Business at the trailer. I think they flipped your names around. You said in the video, but how did that opportunity come about, and what's your involvement in the show?
Yeah, for sure. So it came about, the connection to BET was formed
Hmm.
years ago. Thankful to our Dadager. He has connections with a woman named Dr. Holly Carter.
Okay.
And she is the executive producer of Kingdom Business, which is on BET. So she used to manage like Usher, and so she's a gospel woman, who not gospel woman, but a believer in Christ behind the scenes, making really big moves. And that relationship was established when our older brother was still rapping, doing music. So just maintaining that kingdom relationship over the years has really shown the fruit for us to be able to walk into the door of being able to get two wonderful roles in the series. And then what was the second part of your question?
Uh,
Sorry.
yeah, it was how did that come about, and what's your involvement in the show? So you have the roles. So what
Mhm.
is your role? Like, how long you going to be in the show? What's
Yeah.
what's all that?
So it's really cool. Actually, we were featured as ourselves in the show. So
Okay.
Kingdom Business, for those that don't know about it, it's a very cutting edge TV series on BET Plus, where it's kind of a fuel between two record labels. I think one is called Redeeming Records, and the other is like First Kingdom Records. And one is more traditional gospel, came through the church, kind of family
Hmm.
oriented. And then the other is about taking artists. I think the main artist that they're trying to push was a former stripper who just found
Okay.
God. So it's kind of that
Yeah.
dual. It's kind of that dual matchup between the two, and trying to obviously push Kingdom, but at the same time there's a little bit of competition because you just have differing views from people inside the church versus outside the church and how they were raised.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of gospel in there, a bunch of gospel singers. I hate name dropping because I don't want to forget people. But Blessed Offer was in there. Tamala Man was in there. Kirk Franklin has a big role in there. So there's a lot of gospel figures in there as well. However, we were introduced as this brother sister hip hop duo, which is cool because I think we're the first hip hop that's really in the show. So they introduced us as ourselves. And I guess we were kind of pitched as this opening act for this big event that they're having for Mary Mary, for Women of Gospel.
Okay.
So that was just a sneak peek kind of into season 2, episode 6, which is what we're featured in. And we're still not sure about what they're going to do next season. We may be included
Oh,
as
okay.
a new duo coming in. They might, I don't know. We don't even know if they're having a season 3. So it's all up in the air right now. But that's how it went for the first 2 seasons.
Yeah. So it might be one of those things where you just get that call one day and they're like, "You ready to go?"
Right.
And
Yep.
you got to
For
be ready to go. That,
sure.
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. So what about the upcoming project you have this summer with Devon Franklin? What
Yeah.
can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. So Devon Franklin is preparing. So he's known for a lot of his speaking
Yeah.
engagements and just a lot of he does a lot. He's a big movie guy
Hmm.
too behind the scenes when it comes to production and whatnot. But he's starting to really develop and grow his I guess you could just say it, public speaking and preaching abilities
Yeah.
as far as just getting out there and getting the word out there. So what he's doing is he's preparing a gospel. I don't even know if I call it gospel. He's preparing an album where he's praying over music.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
so he's working on that behind the scenes, and we had an opportunity to pitch one of our verses for one of his
Okay.
prayer songs, because it's
Okay.
over
Okay.
music. It's over music. So yeah, we both got different verses that we're pitching to be in one of the songs. So it's just a God opportunity. God is always doing amazing things that we would never expect or think of. So that's in development.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
so
we're really excited about that too. Like I'm proud of Devon for that because obviously it's something new that he's diving into. But I can't wait to hear the whole thing. He's just like working so hard at it.
yeah. So it's almost like a gospel spoken word prayer.
Yeah,
So it's kind of like
Yep.
its own thing,
yeah,
which is always cool when you get to be involved in something that's unique like that.
right.
Of course. So I saw, I don't know how much you could talk about it, but there's like a couple of other projects on the horizon. Like, what can you say? I guess can you give us little peeks at things? We'll keep it in this live.
It's all good. All good.
I mean, the first thing, like the most recent thing that we're about to release is our single. So we have a single with Dizzle. It's called Fighter. That's coming out literally this Friday. It's a really dope song. You know, it's just an encouragement, pretty self-explanatory. The message of Fighter is just to fight through life. You know, don't give up on yourself. Like when you come through hard patches in life, like just remember who you are, especially remembering who you are in Christ to know that like at the end of the day, like you get your reward when you're faithful and when you're persevering. So you know, being a fighter is just, it's a beautiful thing. So yeah, that song's coming out. It's really hot. um I wrote to that verse from a personal place, and yeah, it's gonna be a good release.
And
Yeah.
you dropped the video yesterday too as
To
well.
Yeah, that was to another one of our songs. So we're releasing 2024 is a big year just as far as music releases and just getting stuff out there just to kind of flood the market. So the video that we released yesterday was to our single Who That, which is a solo Sis N Lil Bro song. We actually shot the music video at Flavor Fest in
Nice.
Tampa a couple months ago. So it was an on-site shooting, which was pretty dope. Had some artists in there. So Miles Minnick is actually featured in the video, which
Yeah.
is super dope. So yeah, we released that one yesterday. Got Fighter coming out this Friday, and we'll be releasing a lot more features upcoming this year. I know we released one with Kjo not long ago. Canton Jones released Aha Gazelle. Got one coming up with The Truth, which is dope. Who's now goes by Emmanuel.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who else. Zahill, we got one in the catalog, and Mission.
Wow.
So we're really building up for some big
Yeah.
releases here this year.
Yeah. And this week you
Yep.
got almost a back-to-back with
Yeah.
the video, the interview. You get a day off tomorrow, maybe. I don't know what you're doing. But then Friday you drop the single. So that's awesome. It's great. Right at the top of the year.
Yep.
Um, so I know, Celena, you said before the aspirations to be an actress, of course, now you're in a show. Um, do you see music as a path to extend to get you to other places, or is now, since you're so into it, music still very much the goal, or is it like a combination of everything?
It's a combination of everything. It's funny because me and my little sister, we were talking about this the other night. But it's a combination of everything. You know, I think that first of all, I'm just so grateful to God that He has honored and remembered like the desire that I had as a child to be an actress. And I, you know, God is the one that opened that door, you know, for me and my brother to be in this big production and literally be ourselves. Like that is like the ultimate rollout of like, okay, here's your acting career. I'm gonna roll you out on the red carpet, and you're gonna be Sis N Lil Bro, and it's gonna be nice and packaged up, and you're ready to go. So, I look forward to more opportunities for acting. I believe that I'm gonna just like, I don't know, just like open up and I guess grow and soar and fly in acting, in the acting world.
Yeah.
But music is also something that I feel like I'm just starting too. Like
Yeah.
there's there's so many songs that I haven't written yet, and I am eager to see what me and my brother come up with and just how we grow. So yeah, I'm taking both of them in really and just going on the
Okay.
journey.
Great. And Titus, super controversial
For sure.
question. Don't get crazy. Are you the best hooper in CHH? You play college ball. Are you the best hooper? Be
I am.
careful.
I am. No,
Yeah, you are.
you can be careful and confident, but no, I really am. Like I know I've heard there's some people out here that quote unquote can out hoop me, but I'm taking anybody one on one, whatever it is, whatever we plan to, let's do it. Because as much as I'm passionate about music, I am basketball too, so I'm down.
All right. So after this interview goes live, this is the only clip that I'm gonna
Hey,
post, and you
post
watch.
it.
The clip's gonna go. It's gonna go nuts,
Let's
and
go.
you're gonna have everyone in the comments, and then the next thing you got to do is a tournament, and then get that music festival tournament
Yeah,
going. Oh yeah, I mean some of the most controversial things I've seen is an artist coming out saying, "Oh, I could beat anybody," and it gets wild, man. And I've been to like these flavor fests and these different things,
yeah,
and all the rappers are playing ball. I've played too. I can't play as well as I used to play. I'm 35 now. I'm a dad. I've slowed down, but
yeah.
yo, these guys can ball. But you played in college, so
Hey, you
I
got
don't.
that. I'm still staying active too. I finished college ball last year, and it's crazy how quick you can like get away from it and start to take a downturn. But I'm still hooping for fun and like staying active. So I still got faith in myself.
And you say you 35. That is nowhere. You still young.
Yeah, no. See, but I'm also a dad, so that's like it's almost like 45.
Yeah,
My
that's
legs are
right though
my
too.
legs are like 55.
That's true.
I,
That's true. That's true because I think of like how life would be with a child, and I just feel like the day that I become a mother, one day, like that's just gonna, it's gonna feel like a light years away.
I'll,
So
I'll tell you one thing right now. I'm on 2 hours of sleep doing this interview, 2 or 3 hours of sleep,
wow.
because I had to get up in the middle of the night to pretend that the tooth fairy took my daughter's tooth.
Oh,
So these are dad things. So for that reason, if you were like, "Yo, let's go hoop now," I'm not gonna be my best self.
right.
So so, so that like 7 years since becoming a dad and since before, like that's a totally different athlete. That's like a college athlete and like, oh, this guy plays little league.
I
Watch out,
feel
man.
that.
It's
I
coming
feel
one
that.
day. One day. Keep it going. All right. Enough about my dad trauma. What what's something you guys wish you could do better concerning your career? And you could have individual answers. You can like kind of come together as yourselves. But what do you think? Something that you could maybe excel at, or you wish you could do better?
Um. Okay, something that I wish I want to, not that I wish, because I'm going to do it. Okay, in 2024, we're not gonna say we wish, we're gonna do it. We can just do it because why? Because we have hands and feet, and we're able. So, yeah. So I think like I want to play an instrument. My brother already started playing the piano, which is really really dope, and I want to just dabble in it, and that playing the piano and also um engineering a little bit. Like
Okay,
the only thing that I know how to do on Pro Tools is record myself. That's it. That's
that's
it.
better than a
But
lot of people.
well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like at one time I didn't know how to do anything. So, that's one thing I really want to get into is just like knowing how to, mix my vocals. Like I really want to do that. Especially as a female artist. It's like, yes, girl, like go do that.
Yeah, I mean, you take it slow. Everyone starts with GarageBand, right? GarageBand
Right.
and a cheap mic, and you're throwing in some loops, and then you move up to all these different things, and then you figure out how to do it. And you're an artist, you're a person who's in the industry and creative, so and you got the guy right next to you could help you out too.
Yeah.
Right.
What about you, Titus?
Yeah, first of all, that's a great question. I don't think I've ever been asked that as far as when it comes just to the career, that direct. So Selena's answer is great. I also want to grow, even though I know how to engineer.
Yeah,
There's always a better mix you can do on a song. You know how it goes for artists. But I would say, really tapping into, I don't even know the word. I forgot the word, but it's really like you're almost a niche. One thing we pride ourselves on, especially being a Christian hip hop duo and being young, is being relevant to the culture.
yeah,
um, a lot of our music isn't quote unquote preachy, as a lot of people would call it, just in a sense where it's throwing a whole lot of scriptures at people through music, but more so giving them the word of God through something that's more relevant to them or how they go through their everyday experiences in life, to something they can understand if they've never heard of God, never heard of the
right.
Bible before, or anything about it. So one thing I really do want to get better at, especially this year and just moving forward, is really tapping into that mainstream side in the sense that I want to start remixing a lot of cover songs.
Okay.
I want to start getting into, yeah, just covering more music that's popping out in the mainstream world, but obviously having a Christian foundation and basis to it, and also speaking on those controversial topics, if you will, because there's so much going on nowadays that everybody's kind of divided on when it comes to what stance to take, where to stand, how to feel about
Yeah.
certain things. And I'm not that I'm trying to um, tell someone how to move and how to act, but more so just offering that godly advice over worldly advice, so that we can all have a united front. Because I guess a little bit of my consciousness around that, as far as just being a little timid, is sometimes you don't want to be wrong, especially in the position we are as
Absolutely.
Christian hip hop artists. Like if you
Yeah.
say one thing that's questionable, it can go away flip side. So you want to be careful in that. But at the same time, you still have that freedom to make a mistake as long as it comes from the right place and you're really clarifying and qualifying why you're saying what you're saying, or
Yeah.
the reason behind it. So I kind of had that fear of doing that before, but I'm really trying to get more into that because God has downloaded things in our minds individually as people, but obviously if you have something and you know it, like God's gonna give you the truth. He's not the author of confusion, obviously. So just trying to be more direct in that and just offer that perspective, because there's so many youth and people my age and peers and just things like that that can really use that advice because they're hearing so many different voices in the culture and the media today.
Yeah. No. Fantastic answer. And I think part of that also is experience, because as you keep going, right? And then it's even if you make those mistakes, and you're on this platform, it's how do you bounce back from those
Hmm.
mistakes and do better with your platform and make up for those
Hmm.
mistakes. And I think, people watching, especially within the Christian circle, you kind of get messed up by two things, because you have the Christian people who are like, oh, I can't believe they made us look bad, and then you have the people who aren't Christian that say, oh, see, I told you
Right.
they were weird people. So it's figuring out how to like cater to both, and then bouncing back and gaining that respect.
Yeah.
So
Because
yeah,
you can't please everybody, but
right,
at the same time you want to. If you can't please everybody, my philosophy is, why not just speak the truth then? Like why not just speak the truth? And you have that going on, like as far as um D1's position, like a lot of people are trying to figure out where they want to support D1. Like, yes, he's doing the right thing, but is he doing it the right way? This and that. And then you got Lecrae's comment on Lil Nas X and what's going on with that. So it's like, you want to support these people, and at the end of the day their intention is the right thing,
right,
but you don't want to, like, that's one thing I have respect for those artists, in the sense that they are not being bashful about their position and the position they're taking,
right,
because they know their intention behind it. They can't, like I said, they can't please everybody, but what they can do is tell truth and call things for what it is. So it's very respectable from
right.
my perspective.
And it's going to help somebody.
Hmm.
Somebody is going to, regardless of how the message goes, there's going to be something in it for somebody that it touches them or it resonates with them to some sort of change.
Yep.
And that's ultimately the goal. Um, switching back to the music, you have the single dropping on Friday. Is that the beginning of a project, or is it kind of the beginning of a rollout, and then we might see like a project like down the line?
Yeah, so our it's, I wouldn't say it's the very beginning. but it's definitely a part of a project. We have an album called Versatility.
Mm.
The reason why it's called Versatility is because all the songs have very different sounds, very different vibes. So it is a part of a project. We made it a while ago. Titus, what season did we make that
I
in?
think we finalized it over a year ago. So that
Oh,
project was ready for
wow.
distribution at the end of 2022. But we
Yeah,
just rerouted the rollout plan, so that's why we've been dropping the
yeah,
singles.
Okay.
But yeah,
yeah.
Okay. So is there music that's not a year old that that is going to be coming soon and kind of working on towards something? So I know you got with Amplify now too with
yep,
RG. So what's that whole, I guess, plan like?
absolutely. So yeah, Selena vented to it a little bit, but releasing singles off that Versatility album because that's where those features were as far as
Right.
so I'm missing one and 1K Few, Be Honest. So 1K Few, Be Honest was the first single that we actually dropped off that album. And then Aha Gazelle, the Wait a Minute featuring Aha Gazelle was the second one. I think we dropped I Love 'Em featuring Kenton Jones. And then obviously this one coming this Friday will be Thizzle, Fighter featuring Thizzle. And then next month, which is y'all are hearing it first exclusively on Rapzilla Live, will be Light featuring The Truth, aka Emmanuel. So that'll be coming next month, which is dope. So all those are on that Versatility album. So definitely leading up to that. And you never know. If you already got the singles out, you might drop an album, you might not. You might just keep singles going. So it's kind of in the works right now, but we're just trying to give people music just because there's so much music out there. We want to make sure we're being relevant and giving people what they
Yeah,
want.
you're not
Yeah,
playing games. These are some
Oh
heavy
yeah,
hitters you,
yeah,
you got on
yeah.
the singles too. That's
yeah.
nice.
And I was just about to say, like, that's why listening to the people is so crucial in the whole releasing process, is because, especially as an artist, you want to connect with
Yeah.
people. You want to connect with who's watching, with who's listening, who's liking, who's commenting, who's coming to shows. Like, people tell you what they like and what they don't like. So just us being flexible enough to be like, okay, we had a plan, but you know what, people are actually reacting to this like a little bit more, so we're going to do more of this because that's what they want to do. I mean, they want to listen to or want to engage in.
So you have
Yeah.
versatility. There you go.
There you
Exactly.
go.
Uh, I got
Exactly.
it. I'm right with you guys. I understand. Okay. Can you briefly talk about the body showcases that you're doing, and then even the curation that you did with Godflow? I saw, some of the pictures and things that happened in last year's with Black China was there, and just what are these things that you're doing in for your community and within CHH?
Yeah, so, oh, go ahead. Were you gonna go, Titus? Go ahead.
No, I was gonna let you speak on the body, and I guess I could
There
take
you go.
Godflow.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I had in my
There you
mind too.
go.
So
Good job,
So,
guys.
first of all, I just want to give a big shout. This is pertaining to the body. Shout out to all the Christian hip hop artists in Minnesota. Okay, me and my brother, we formed our group in Minnesota. That's where all the magic happened of the group. So we wanted to just connect all the artists together. So the body is coming. The name of the body is because we're all a part of the body in Christ. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody's the hand, somebody's the feet, somebody is the ear. Like, in metaphorically speaking, but like, we all have talents, and it's not just artists who are part of the body. It's like graphic designers, podcasters, everybody who's doing something creative. If you love God and you're doing something creative, we want everybody to come together, because we know that, when you work hand in hand beside each other, you can make a bigger impact. So we know that there's so many talented people making moves and doing things for the kingdom, but like, just, we wanted a place where people could come together, you know and just create so much, what is it called, synergy, so much synergy together. So that's what the body is. Shout out to the body. It's thebody.mn on Instagram. But yeah, that's something that we kicked off at the very tail end of 2023, and we just started the kickoff meeting, and now we're about to enter into our very first showcase. So every single month there is a showcase that leads up to Godflow in the
Okay.
summertime. But there's so many dope things that are happening. Yeah, it's just really exciting.
Okay. And there's your segue into
Right?
Godflow.
Yeah, no. So like Selena said, the body is it's almost a smaller scale of Godflow, but it's different in the sense that if you think of the body, it's I love the idea because, like Selena said, it's taking different aspects of what people
Hmm.
do, different creativity parts, and putting it all together so that everybody can leverage one another and just work together and find Christian people that you can connect with and work alongside. So that's the dope part about it. And one thing I kind of compared it to, if you think about it, so you have your, I think the Arc in Atlanta. Atlanta, is that the kind of Christian nightclub I want to say it is? So they have the Arc in Atlanta. I think they got the Cove in Nashville. I think there's one in Columbus, Ohio, as far as like a Christian
Okay.
nightclub. So if you think about that in Minnesota, that's kind of what those showcases are. But then you got like a Camp Unashamed where they do the studio recording, kind of have everybody in the studio for a
Yeah.
week to kind of put together a playlist or just work together, right? But it's that monthly. So just putting all that stuff in one, that's what the body is. It's really putting everything together to really build and
That's
make an
cool.
impact, especially coming out the state. And then obviously having those small showcases. So I think the max capacity that we have is 60 people. So those are very, they're small scale and compared to the Godflow, which is more
Yeah.
large scale, but at the same time, it's making a big impact because especially when you record that and kind of put film and stuff behind it and content around it, it looks bigger than what it is sometimes. That attracts people and attracts the listener to where it's competitive to get into those
Yeah.
spots if there's only a
Yeah.
limited amount of tickets.
Yeah.
So then you build that up for Godflow, which is the annual Christian hip hop fest that we have in Minnesota, similar to your Holy Smoke, similar to your Glow Fest in California. So this is just kind of one for the Midwest or Minneapolis area. Godflow, we've had national artists come through. So I can name probably 20 different national CHH artists. Like you mentioned, Black China was our featured guest speaker last year. So she came and spoke and gave her testimony and kind of how Christ changed her life and gave her update on how her sobriety has been going and things like that. So
Yeah.
we've had Ti come in the past, Cedric the Entertainer. So really having these mainstream influences come and speak how God has really changed the impact of their life, though they're still doing what they do or though they have their own experiences, it's really speaking to how powerful God still is, no matter where people are in their journey. So it's really a Christian hip hop festival and a movement that's really changing. It's really changing the culture, especially in the Minneapolis area.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Phenomenal. Um, all right. So we've kind of walked through your journey from the beginning of how you started to where you're at now. So is there anything else you guys want to talk about, add, plug, let the people know what's going on with you guys?
Yeah, I knew you was gonna say something. I'll start it and I'll let Selena close it out. But
No,
obviously,
I
like we
just
mentioned,
no
it was
guys.
so yes,
I
it's
just
so much.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
I don't know. I think mine is just like an encouragement. If you're tuning into this, I just want to let you guys know that, we appreciate you being here, even if it's virtual. I know we're in a virtual world right now. Um, but that doesn't mean that we can't have a real connection, y'all. So like this year is going to be a great year, not only for us, but I'm also speaking like to you guys as well. We have life and death is in the power of the tongue. So if you declare that it's going to be a good year, that's what you can carry in your soul. And that's not to say, excuse me, that's not to say like we know everything that's going to happen in the future, because there's things that we can't predict. We don't know what's going to happen this year. Who knows what's going to happen? Life is going to throw so many things at you. But God didn't give us like a spirit of fear. You know what I'm saying? He gave us a spirit of courage. And so, we just have to we just have to do the best with what we know now and what we have now. So, I'm excited. I'm excited for the year. I'm excited it's still January. I love January because it's just like new month.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, I wanted to say I appreciate y'all and just keep looking out for new music, and we got a lot of stuff coming. So it's gonna be on and cracking.
Yeah, she hit it for the most part. Like, it was so much information mentioned here, but obviously we're active. That's one thing we pride ourselves on because obviously artists get really busy and sometimes they don't have time to really connect with the
Yeah.
fans they want to. So the way they want to. But that's one thing we really like to do is really connect with our fans because we kind of call us siblings, is what we do because everybody's brothers and sisters in Christ. So siblings, hit us up on our socials. We Sis N Lil Bro on everything, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff. Always posting updates, always got new stuff coming. As we talked about it tonight, there's so much going on. But it's all for God's kingdom and there's so many different areas that we can impact, even if it's not music. Like there's so many different things. So whether it be a Thizzle collaboration for all the St. Louis fans out there, or Kent and Joe's down in ATL, or KB down in Tampa. Like we don't know what's
Yep.
next, but always just trying to do what we can to really impact our generation because we know it's needed for sure.
Yes, dope. Thank you so much. So everybody watching, this is Sis and Lil Bro, Titus and Celena. If you joined in late or you jumped in at some point and you're like, what are they talking about? This is going right back up on our Instagram. The video will be there. I'm going to download it. It's going to be on our YouTube. Then I'm going to cut it up and I'm going to make clips. So you're going to be seeing this for a couple weeks. So there's no excuse if you're in here now and you're like, oh, I missed something.
Right.
It's going to be there. You can watch it back. You could share it. I'm going to send it to them. They could share it. But we had a fantastic conversation. It was really good getting to know you both. I'm super excited to see what God has planned for you this year and what you got coming, because 2023 was pretty big for you guys, and we're already, what is it, the third week of January,
For real.
kind of, and this week you're already packed out with, with stuff to do. So it's only going to get better. So I wish you guys the best and blessings moving forward, and please keep in touch with Rapzilla. We want to know what you both are doing, and keep everybody updated.
Yes, sir. Pleasure. Blessings to
All
you.
right.
God bless.
Pleasure. Have a good night.
All right, y'all.
All right, everyone. CHH-ish podcast with Sis and Lil Bro, Celena and Titus. Tune in next week. I'm not sure who the guest is going to be. I think I have to switch guests. We have 3 episodes that have already aired. We had Monster Tarver, Hurt RPH, and author Michael Caparelli, who wrote a phenomenal book about his experience with the Son of Sam serial killer. So totally out of left field. But again, this was Sis and Lil Bro, Titus and Celena. Everybody have a good night. I will see you all next time.